Someone asked me, Joe, in free mode, how do you document your progress? And number two, what do you do about figuring out a weight that's best for you, okay? Two very good questions. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Hey, what's up everybody? Had a very specific question the other day that I thought maybe I'd throw a video out to address. So as you guys might be aware, I personally love free mode, okay? Free mode is basically, for those of you who don't know, free mode is basically the place where you can go to when you want to do your own movements that maybe the Tonal library does not have currently. Tonal's always updating their library as much as possible, I'm sure. But there's going to be some moves in there, like, for example, the straight arm pull down, right? Something that I love and I have in my routine. It's not actually in Tonal. So what I will do is I will use a generic rope movement for the straight arm pull down. Now, the question that I had was, Joe, when you're in free mode, how do you track your weights? Now, guys, we are so spoiled, especially with amazing machines like this. Technology is constantly advancing. We got our cell phones, we got apps that track everything. We are so spoiled, but it might surprise you to hear that Tonal does not have a way yet for you to input your own movements, such as, for example, me inputting my straight arm pull down into the Tonal library. And therefore, because you can't input your own movement yet, maybe one day we'll see that, but we don't know. But until you can input your own movement, you basically have to use generic movements. And because you're using generic movements, the machine is not going to track your progress. It's not going to save your stats. So for example, if I were to put on a bench press, because that movement is in the library, Tonal will track my progress with the bench press. For the straight arm pull down, for example, a movement that's not in the library, it's not going to know whether or not Joe needs 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds. It doesn't know. So the responsibility is on you to go Stone Age, right? You might have to break out the pen. You might have to break out the paper. You might have to open the notes section in your cell phone and write, okay, straight arm pull down. I, do 20 pounds on the straight arm pull down, concentric, and then another 10 pounds eccentric, whatever your movements are for your routine, right? Whatever your progress is for your routine, for your generic movement, you might actually have to document that because Tonal's not going to document it. Now, something that I recommend is someone asked me, Joe, in free mode, how do you document your progress? That's number one. And number two, what do you do about figuring out a weight that's best for you, okay? Two very good questions. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. As far as documenting, when I'm in free mode, I just try, because I'm lazy, honestly, guys, and I don't recommend being lazy. I don't recommend it. I recommend you break out the pen and paper, break out the cell phone. It only takes a couple of minutes to write, okay, straight arm pull down, 45 pounds, this, 10 pounds extra eccentric, whatever. Only takes a couple of minutes. But if you're lazy like me, you're going to try to remember the number, right? So you have a couple of options. You can throw it in your cell phone. You can buy a dry erase board if you want, right? Throw it up there, here's my movement, and then you can change it nice and easy according to as you progress. Dry erase board, just quickly erase the number, rewrite the number. It's a very simple, effective way to track your progress, right? Or you can put it in your cell phone, write it down, delete it, update it, whatever you got to do. Or you can just do what I do and remember approximately what weight I'm at. Now, I don't personally worry too much about the weight. I don't personally worry too much about, how many reps I do. You guys know that I'm very in tune with my body, and I try to be as much as possible. I'm looking for hypertrophy. So, and your body, my body, everybody's body, right? Everybody's body is changing daily. So on Monday, I might be much stronger than on Wednesday. Maybe I had a longer day on Wednesday. Maybe, I got better sleep, or maybe I have an injury. Your body's constantly changing. So you might hop on Tonal, and even if you have a movement in there on your bench press, and it thinks it knows what you should be doing, you might feel a little bit off that day. So you might have to actually physically lower that weight. That's something that might happen. By gauging your own weight, you can basically help yourself to discover the weight that's best for you on that given day. All right, so for example, I'm doing straight arm pull down. When I first came onto this screen, it had the weight on for 5 pounds. Now, you guys know I'm not doing no 5 pounds for straight arm pull down, right? But it had 5 pounds on the screen. So because it had 5 pounds on the screen, I said, all right, let me do a weight that is going to be comfortable for me to warm up with. So what I did was I threw it to 25 pounds, and then I did 30 reps in the warm-up set, just to move my body, get my blood flowing a little bit, and loosen up, right? Then what I did was I did another warm-up set after that, because I was feeling a little bit stiff today, right? Every day you're different. Some days I don't even do warm-up sets, depending on how I feel. So I did another warm-up set at like 35 pounds. And I did like, 25 reps of that, somewhere around there. And then I said, okay, now I'm ready. So what I did was I turned it up to 40 pounds. And then I tried to rep out 15 reps. And it worked out just fine. So I ended up increasing it. I'm at 45 pounds now. But what I did was basically feel it out. I tested the weight. Now, for every rep that you go over your 15, so let's say, for example, you want 15 reps, and now you do rep 16, rep 17, rep 18, rep 19, and you're like, okay, I'm on 30 pounds, for example, and I'm doing more than my 15 reps. What you can do is increase, for every rep that you go over, increase it by 1 pound, okay? So if your max reps you want is 15, if you want to crush yourself into that 15 rep range, you are going to increase the weight by 2 pounds if, let's say, for example, you do 17. If you do 18, you'll increase it by 3 pounds. And that's going to crush you into that rep range, okay? If you want 15 reps and you can't do the 15 reps because the weight you put on because you were estimating and you didn't track it and you didn't write it down, or maybe you're tired that day or whatever, if that weight is too heavy for you to be able to get to 15, decrease it by 1 pound for the amount of reps that you couldn't make it. So let's say you were only able to do 10 reps out of the 15 you wanted because the weight was too heavy. Just decrease the weight by 5 pounds because you got 10, right? You're only able to do 10, but you wanted 15. Decrease it by 5 pounds. That's going to bring you to a decent range to hit that 15 reps, okay? So that's what I would highly recommend to do. Guys, there's a million ways to do whatever you want to do. And that's the amazing thing about each and every one of us. We're all unique. We all work differently. We all have different things that we like to do. There's no set way to do anything. So whether you're using a dry erase board, whether you're using a cell phone, whether you're remembering what your rep range is, whether you are, increasing or decreasing by 1 pound or 2 pounds, guys, it all comes down to you. At the end of the day, why are we on tonal? We're likely on tonal to build muscle. So test out the different options that you have to find the best option for you, whether it be high reps, low reps, high weight, low weight, whatever works for you. And remember, it's important to remember, we're ever changing. We're not always going to be consistent. Our bodies are not always going to be consistent. So take your time, test out even daily. Maybe one day, Monday you're feeling one way, and Tuesday you're feeling another way. Monday you're able to do a high amount of eccentric, Tuesday you're not. So simply change it. Make this fun, make it work for you. That's what matters. So I hope this video was helpful. I look forward to talking to you all very, very soon, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care.